How's it? Welcome to another episode of Upfront with Guy Huggy. We're cruising around in our Toyota 4Runner. What a sweet ride. Today we'll be chatting with local comedian, podcaster, Zavier Cummings. Yeah, the dude is so hilarious. We're gonna pick him up, try to get inside his brain, see what goes on in there, and how he's so funny. I can see him. Look, Bada, the brother is like, slowing down.
What's up?
Hey, how you, Bada? You look like you need a ride.
Yes.
Come on in.
Guy.
Come on in. We're gonna talk story. Oh, maybe not.
You like me jump in from the?
I got him. You know, this is a new fancy vehicle, so I'm still learning a lot of buttons there.
Oh, how's this thing?
Yeah, sweet ride, huh?
Yay.
So right on. So what? You came on Oahu, what? Small kind, because you don't live Oahu, right?
No, I live on Kauai.
Yeah,
so the
love
Garden
Kauai,
Island. I tell you, plenty rain. It's like the garden, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you guys had freaking flooding again.
Bro, yeah.
Poor thing.
Oh, mean guy. Mean.
So anyway, Kauai instrumental. Only one Kauai boy could do what you're doing.
It's good fun, you know what I mean? It's what you guys see on Instagram is the upbringing, you know what I mean? The way that me and my dad, the funny videos, it's all observational. It's just all local brothers, all local fathers, you know?
Yeah. I mean, did it just come into this thing? Did you have a vision for this thing, this comedic life in social media? Or did it just start to grow? Was it organic? I mean, how did it happen?
It was pretty organic, I would say. I mean, I was always a class clown.
Yeah.
You know, I was always cracking jokes.
So everybody gets stories about you.
Oh, guarantees. 100%. They better not say nothing about those stories, okay? That was before.
We all have the before.
Yeah. No, this the after.
Yeah.
No real vision, no real like direction or goals in terms of like what I wanted, where I wanted to take it and what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was too busy cleaning doodle off toilets, guy.
Oh, bro, join the club.
Yeah, bro. What you mean?
Well, we all had those jobs, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's no way you got to where you got if you'd ever do the hard work.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I mean, having done that and then getting out of that and doing, you know, what I do now, brother, is the most grateful human being on this planet, brother.
Yeah. And then nonstop, you get sources, I mean, inspiration nonstop. I get from you that every interaction that you have, every observation that you have plays into what you do.
1000%. Yeah, I think just like finding the funniness in everything. I mean, but some stuff isn't funny.
Yeah.
Some stuff is serious, but I like to use humor to like communicate that, you know. But everywhere I go and all the stuff that like that happens throughout the day, it's just material. It's just nonstop, you know.
And isn't it pretty wild how it's come to like say these organizations that you would never think would have some kind of tie to humor, use humor as a way to get to their audience, get their message across. HPD, for example, you and HPD, you guys have this relationship now.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Like, I think over the years, refining my own comedy, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, where it walks the line of like communicating important messages while and not bashing whether the entity, the organization, or people, you know what I mean? So it's more geared towards like communicating messages and how we can figure out the best way that resonates with people through humor, humor. So for HPD, I mean, a pretty serious task, which is like to increase recruitment.
Yeah.
You know, and utilizing the brand and my characters and stuff to like bring that process to light and inform people on what it's like to, you know, to possibly join the HPD.
Yeah, and that's a great community service.
Yeah.
In addition to being a paying job.
Yeah, exactly. And they never tell me when we first hit start about that incentive, the 25K. So, bro, had I had known that, I think so I would have, you know, made some content highlighting that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, well, of course.
Brother, I was tripping out. I said, maybe I actually might join. Oh yeah, but they're great.
Yeah. So I mean, where did the humor come from? Is is your dad funny, or you have relatives that are funny, or like why the humor? Why the class clown? Did you kind of dig back into that? Like, why was that important for you?
Yeah, I think I mean, growing up, my dad was always one crack up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My grandpa same way. Just Portuguese. You know what I mean? And
real sly kind of humor too, right? They're not trying to be humor. They're just funny.
They're just funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is no trying. I feel like the more, at least for me and my dad, the more I found, if we do try, or if I do try to retake it or stuff like that, the beauty of it is that it just gets a little more junk, you know?
Yeah, the spontaneity is not there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gotta be like, it's gotta be quick. You know what I mean? Like I actually get these glasses that can film now. So sometimes I just film, I just tell, hey man, start video, and it's on. I always try to, you know what I mean? I try to reach a broad audience.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my comedy, who I am, is Hawaii. Yeah. So it's like, how can I make this digestible for people outside? You know what I mean? So I know I'm gonna be talking pidgin still, and I do speak like proper sometimes.
Yes, sometimes you've got to get that message across to certain people unfamiliar with the local vernacular.
Absolutely, guy. Absolutely. So you know, I mean, I really try to like work the Hawaii and try to get, you know, reach a broader audience, but it is rooted in Hawaii, my comedy, you know?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool because, you know, it's not stand-up stuff, right? You know what I mean? It's not a stand-up routine. You got sketches, you got characters. Yeah. And like, do you have to script it out, or is it just like, I got the concept and I'm gonna go do it?
Yeah, most times it's like I got the concept and I'll go do it. If ever I'm looping in one of my friends or my dad and stuff like that, then I'll write like some dialogue. Yeah. Where, I mean, that's just a starting point, just you know, with everything.
Yeah. Because it doesn't look rehearsed or you know, stiff at all.
Yeah, no, it's very loose. Yeah. Yeah, it's loose as a goose, guy. I promise you. And even the HPD stuff, I mean, in terms of personnel and which detective was going to be on camera, I couldn't write for them. So for me, I was like, you guys just kind of do your general process and I'm just going to improv and stuff like that. So the HPD stuff is very much from the hip.
I hope you appreciate that it's such a gift and it's such a talent. You know what I mean? I mean, for some people, the thing is they might not see what other people see. And I hope you see what other people see in you, because it really is a gift and a talent that's pretty rare.
Well, I mean, it's only now am I realizing that, like, everyone is always asking me, like, bro, how don't you laugh? Like, how are you, like, you know what I mean? Like, how don't you break in your videos?
How do you keep a straight face?
Yeah. And I feel like that's, I mean, I don't know what the actual gift or talent is, but I'm like, I just love to entertain and I want to make the other people laugh. If I laugh first, then I ruin it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I like that, and you know, some guys that I always look to, like on camera talent or like actors, is like Steve Carell.
Did you have a hard time in school because you was the class clown in with the teachers and stuff? Did they give you, because you always want to break up the class during class, right?
Yeah, no. So the ace in my pocket is that if I was ever crossing the line or being disrespectful, my dad would give me dirty licking. So I never did do, you know what I mean? I never did sway that way. It was always like, if I had my chance, or you know what I mean, class break or whatever, I'm you know, maybe I'll get sometimes on the teacher's nerves.
Yeah, because you know what too that taught you, I think, and you might not realize it, the timing, right? The comedic timing. Because the teacher says something and you want to inject that right there.
That's so true, bro.
Right?
That's so true. Because the timing, like the delivery and everything is so huge. Yeah.
So how was your relationship with the other comics? Because I know that in other places other than Hawaii where there's a comedic scene, there's a little bit of, you know, like very much a competitive scene. So they don't welcome new, young, rising comics very well.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like Hawaii gets a bit crabby for whatever reason, and you know what I mean, just being real, that's my experience, is like having started, and especially being on the outer islands and not bragging at all. I'm just saying this as humbly as possible, but doing what I've done and achieving like what I've achieved on an outer island. Yeah. I feel like some people, especially here, feel like, oh, like whatever it is, I don't really know. I don't know if it's, they feel like they deserve X, Y, and Z or whatever it is. I never felt that way. Yeah. Starting off, even now, HPD coming, Toyota coming, and Texaco and all this. Right. Just super grateful, Yeah. And it just makes me just hone in on my craft more. Like, that's the kind of partners I want, is like people who can give me more creative control. Yeah. Right,
that crab in the bucket syndrome is not exclusive to one part of our culture. And it's sad. Yeah. And I don't know what that is. I mean, it's happened in the news business.
I was just gonna ask how that is.
It happens in sports, in our sports world. I have no explanation. I'm not a sociology major or expert, so I don't know. But I think you and I probably try to quell it by the what we can affect, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm a guy where I there's so much opportunity. I mean, I've been in rooms and sat at tables, got to connect with so many different people who, it's just there's so much opportunity. I don't know, like, there's no lack of. Yeah. It's so for me, when I see people doing great or I get this opportunity, I'm just stoked for people. I'm like, oh, bro, there's more than enough to go around.
When we get those triumphs and we get to feel better about ourselves, including watching your video, right? It really helps.
Yeah. No, it changes the whole day, right? It changes people's weeks, Like,
so what else is coming down the road for you? What's your vision? What's coming up? At least in the short term and the long term.
Yeah. So for me, like, what I do now is if you could find something you love, you never work a day in your life. But my thing is, like, I love what I do, everything that comes with it, whether it's the paperwork, the back end, X, Y, and Z, whether I should be doing those other things as opposed to like the creative is a whole different story. So what I was trying to do for a long time is, how can I do what I do, duplicate, replicate, and scale that? So me and my business partners, we've just merged and created a company called Island Media Group, which
is awesome.
Guy, it's a full service marketing agency. And we do everything from print, website building, refreshes, but we really, what we enjoy doing is taking these messages and how can we communicate them so that it can be the most memorable pieces of content or commercials.
Look at you.
Yeah, right?
You're this friggin' enterprise now. Did you even see it like that? You didn't see
that,
right?
I've never seen. No.
You might have seen the comedic thing, but becoming an enterprise like you're doing and branching out, that even I'm sure they caught you by surprise, right?
For sure.
But you got to strike when the iron's hot.
Exactly. That's been my thing, is like, with all this attention and like energy flying around, it's like when something poses itself, like, I need to be in a position to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Yeah. I found that there isn't really like, oh, I'll get back to you next week, or that's it. Yeah. It's hard. That's just how Hawaii is. Yeah. But the people who can strike and the people who are in a position to, man, they do well. Yeah. And for me, it's like this IG and social media stuff is short term. It's great attention, but at the end of the day,
it's going to morph into something again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. And we need to be like at the front line of that. So, I'm always looking for the long-term play, like what works best. And I feel like
that, that's very visionary and mature for somebody that's a comedic talent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's like,
I'm sure your friends are surprised. Go, wait, is that Zavier?
No,
he's got a business hat on now. No, he's talking all proper English.
They don't even know. Yeah, like so between my business partners, Micah Gonzalez and Brandon Baptiste, brother, those kinds of conversations like just stay between us, because and mind you, I am not no business mogul. I'm just along for the ride. I'm a sponge, Right. But yeah, I've learned a lot, and diversifying is so important in what I do. Like, easy forget crabby, I feel like, when hard time for make the bill and stuff like that. But if you can get on your own 2 feet and you can diversify, it's fun to make funny videos, Yeah. But that's not the main thing, Yeah,
and it's the same, I think, for this new generation, right? I mean, I'm old, right? This new generation, my kids included, the things are changing so fast. You have to be able to, react to all these changes and the opportunities that are coming so quick, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like people are so like emotionally driven, right? Like Hawaii, it's, there's a lot of emotion here, but there's big problems, at some point, like you're gonna face some big problems, whether it's like losing family or like real financial problems, and it's like how you work through that, then you realize like all the other stuff is kind of like falls at the wayside, what he said, she said, X, Y, and Z, that's what you thought, it don't matter.
Yeah, it really don't matter.
So
all right, well, thanks for coming along for the ride, brother.
Guy, how's this guy?
Yeah.
Anytime. Next time we're gonna take one ride. We're gonna film this, but we're gonna go cheap eats. Yeah.
Okay, for sure now. You on for that?
I promise. Okay, yeah, brother. I promise you.
Okay, so we're gonna get our schedules aligned. You can see Zavier Cummings on Cheap Eats, as well as this episode of Upfront with Guy Huggy. Xavier, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, Guy, you don't man, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
And good luck to you. Now, for everybody that's not for the very few people that aren't familiar with your stuff, how do we get a hold of you? How do we see your content?
How's this guy? DIS. You guys just search that anywhere you guys like search.
Any platform.
Except OnlyFans.
Okay.
But I promise you, anywhere else, I'm there. Check me out on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram, X, Twitter and stuff like that.
Right. How's this guy that's recommended by this guy?
That's right. The guy and this guy. Yes.
Right on, Xavier. Yeah, we see you on Kauai soon,
Automatic Hawaiian.
Right
automatic.
On, thanks,
Yes, easy.
Mahalo for listening to this episode of Upfront with Guy Huggy. Download for free and listen anytime, wherever you get your podcasts.